Welcome into another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Days. I'm Michael Knight, sitting down with Jenks senior offensive lineman Logan Nobles, also recently committed to Oklahoma State. We'll get into OSU in a little bit, but let's start with last season. Great turnaround for this team when you consider where you guys were, after week 4. 1-3 start, and then you guys go all the way to the state championship game. What was that like, going through that turnaround? And, there were people saying, what's going to happen with Jenks? Are they going to miss the playoffs? And I'm sure you guys never had a doubt about that. And I even was like, you need to pump the brakes on that conversation. But what was it like to go through that and know that you guys had to fix some things and turn some things around?
It was really amazing, not necessarily for the losing aspect, but for the aspect of learning how to go through the challenges and learning how to face adversity head on, and learn how to just push right through that.
Now, you were able to make it all the way to the title game, close loss to Owasso. And when you consider everything that you guys bring back into 2020, how much momentum and how much of a motivating factor is that close loss as you go into this season?
It's everything, it's nobody on the team wants to be in that feeling again. We've been there twice, and that's something. That feeling is so hard to describe. It's terrible. It stays with you forever, and it's just something that we use every day now to push us further and further, and just to make us work harder and to have that good aspect.
What has this offseason been like? Obviously, it's been incredibly strange with everything going on. How have you guys handled it as a team? Because I got to feel like it's a little different for you as in Jenks because you have so many guys returning. Has to make things a little bit easier. But how have you guys handled, having to work out separately?
It's pretty good. It's really nice because we have our first group with a whole bunch of seniors, and there's already been a whole bunch of leaders there. Well, with our second group, it really shows the people who are going to step up and be leaders whenever all the seniors leave. So it's making leaders, which is something we need.
Now, this offseason has also been pretty special for you because you absolutely blew up this spring. You went from, a guy searching for that first offer to schools all over the country recruiting you. What's that moment like? You've been working, the last several years for this moment, and now you're starting to get recruited by schools all over the country. And look, at that point, you're going to be able to play college football. What was that moment like when you got those first few offers?
It was amazing. I had a smile on my face forever. I couldn't remember the last time I had a down in a day. I never got sad. It was just, I'm going to play college football. It's it's a dream country for every kid or just anybody playing a sport. They always want to be at that next level, and it's amazing that I'm going to have this experience to play at the next level.
You did commit to Oklahoma State. How tough was the decision? Who were some of the other schools that we'll talk about OSU, but who were some of the other schools that were close as far as, it was tough to pick the Cowboys over some of the other guys?
It was really Vanderbilt, KU, and North Dakota State. I know North Dakota State isn't a FBS team, but the thing they have going on at North Dakota State is something to be proud of, and it's something that I definitely liked a lot. And it was the way they treated their offensive linemen. Their offensive linemen were just like the quarterbacks. It was really cool. And then KU was amazing because I had a great connection with the coaches. Every single one, my family was getting close with them. And Vanderbilt, one of the highest things I thought about Vanderbilt was always had that Vanderbilt degree, and it's SEC, and so it's just all of them are really close, and it was just a neck and neck. And I guess one thing that when me and my family sat down about it was, they didn't want me to leave, go too far, and I was kind of leaning that way. And just Oklahoma State has just been there, and I'm very excited to be a Cowboy.
What was that conversation like? Because you do commit last Wednesday in the evening time, shortly after talking with Coach Gundy. What was that moment like to be able to call him and say, hey, look, I'm headed to Stillwater?
It's actually kind of funny. The day before, I had a conversation with Gundy, and I told my family I would commit with them in the room. And so it was so hard not to tell him because I knew at that point that I wanted to be a Cowboy. And it was hard to say, not tell Gundy that I wanted to be a Cowboy. But whenever I told him the next day, it was just that feeling of relief and all the pressure off my shoulders for everything. And it felt great to talk to him.
Now, you mentioned the pressure off your shoulders, and that's the one thing that kids, consistently say, because you lock in your spot, so to speak. You don't have to worry about it as much, but at the same time, the process isn't over. Schools are still going to try to push and pull and be like, how committed are you? How do you plan on handling that? Because that's always been interesting to me because, how do you handle, being a high school kid, being committed to a school, and then having to tell, another coach, hey, I appreciate you recruiting me, but I'm committed to OSU.
It's hard because I'm not a guy that's gonna. I'm not trying to say this like
confrontational.
Yeah, confrontational. You know what I guess you'd say. And I've always been the type of guy to stick to my word. And when I say something, I mean it. And so it's going to be really, really harder for somebody to pull me out of Oklahoma State, which I'm down for coaches trying. But I really like Oklahoma State, and my family likes it too.
Now let's talk about 2020 because you still got one more year of high school ball and potentially a big year when it comes to Jenks and what you guys have returning. What has this offseason been like with the guys coming back, and how exciting has it been the last couple of weeks to get back together with this group?
It's been amazing. It's so much fun seeing everybody's faces again and lifting, and the atmosphere of the weight room, and it's just let's go, let's put in this effort, let's grind, and let's do good this season. It's an amazing energy in the weight room.
Now, this is an interesting question because when you consider last year, there's probably a couple revenge games you already have in mind. But if I had to lay your schedule out in front of you right now and tell you to circle one game that you're excited for the most, because there's a few that you can make the debate for, which game are you excited for the most this year?
I'm excited for Jenks versus Union. Last year was such an amazing feel, and I'm very excited. And for last year, we came all the way down. We're about to punch it into the end zone to seal the game, and then we fumbled right there. It was very sad and very just heartbroken. But I'm so excited to just come back and play them again because they're a great team. We're a great team, so let's see who's the better team.
Look, most years that's the right answer, but I mean, you can make the argument for Bixby, you can make the argument for Broken Arrow, Santa Fe, some revenge factors going into it. Either way, it's going to be a good 2020. Final question, what has to happen for you guys to get the job done? Because obviously you have on paper a lot of talent coming back, a lot of experience, probably the most experienced team when it comes to some of the top contenders. What has to happen for you guys to go out there and finish the job and get a gold ball?
We got to stay focused. We can't take it, okay, well, we're playing this team this week, okay, but we got to worry about them next week. It has to be, okay, we got this practice today, let's finish this practice. Then when you're done with the practice, we got to focus on the next practice. We got to take it one step by step, like step by step. That's the best way I can think of it, and that's something that I've always done. And I think if we have that as team-wide, it's going to be a great season for Jenks Trojans.
Yeah, right now, look, it's only June, so we got a little ways before the start of football season. But right now on paper, Jenks looks like one of those top teams in 2020. Logan, thank you for sitting down with me today. Congratulations on your commitment, and looking forward to seeing you and your teammates this fall.
Thank you very much, and blessed to be on here.
He's Logan Nobles. I'm Michael Knight, and this has been another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Day.